Hello everybody, I am Shaun Sidey, and today I'm going to be going over our top 20 traits that makes a perfect client at HealthNU. We have now been in business for over 6 years. I have personally been in the fitness industry for over 10 years, and I have had over 1,000 successful transformations. So in the last 10 years, I have really time and time again seen what works, seen what doesn't. So today I have brought up a list of all of my perfect traits. So we'll get right into it. So first one is our perfect client understands that we are the experts. They want to follow our plan, not theirs. Our client understands when they come in that what they have tried to this point has not really worked for them. So they're willing to let go of that control, relinquish that control, and let us guide the plan. When we ever bring somebody on, we try to ask as many good questions as we can so we can understand that person's life, their routine, their schedule, what they like, what they don't like, and then we're going to come up with a plan. If we have a client who does not want to follow the plan and they want to do their training program and their diet and their habits, what they're going to get is more of what they've been getting in life normally because their plan has gotten them to this point in life. But if they want to try something new, they need to understand that they have to follow our plan. So we want to make sure that our ideal client is following our plan, not theirs. Okay. They are receptive to constructive criticism. Our ideal clients, they love the feedback. They love constructive criticism. They understand that not every bit of critique is an insult. It is not disrespect. It is just us being direct as coaches and holding them accountable. So if we're telling somebody that, hey, like we need to be getting to bed on time, we should probably reduce the amount that we're drinking. We should probably reduce the amount that we're eating out, or at least eating out better. We need to make sure that that person is receptive to that feedback. If somebody's pushing us every way, and one of the traits that I personally dislike as a coach the most is if I'm telling somebody constructive criticism and they'll say, well, my thought process was blah, 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 and I only did that because of da, da, da. It doesn't really matter. I'm trying to guide you on what that was. You know, I'm always open to an open and honest dialogue, but if we're pushing and pulling and there's a little bit of pushback on every single piece of advice that we give, it wastes so much time. It's very counterproductive and very frustrating to deal with as coaches. We just want somebody to be like, okay, coach, you got it. I will do that. I will implement, and we're going to get a lot more success and save so much more time. So being receptive to feedback is a skill. It's not about putting the client down in any way. We always try to cushion the blow because no one likes to be critiqued in any way, but it is important that we give that feedback, and that's ultimately why you are here. Okay, they're good communicators. So what I mean by this is like when they receive a message, when they receive their check-in, they watch the check-in quickly, they respond with their takeaways quickly. When we ask them follow-up questions, they respond quickly, they give thorough replies. It's very tough to deal with a check-in that's very scarce, very sparse, one-word answers, short responses, very slow responses. We're just wasting so much time and not really allowing to give you the best coaching experience. Coaching, a lot of it, in my opinion, coaching is questions, right? It's just lots of questions, really seeking data, really understanding information in your current situation so that we can ultimately get you the best result and give you the best answer. If we're dealing with limited information, slow information, it's going to take us forever to realistically get you there. Next thing is they remain patient. They understand that real change takes time. Our ideal client, they understand the perfect client. They understand that, you know, they did not gain the weight overnight, or they did not get to where they're at overnight. It's going to take time. Real body transformations, they can take months, if not years, to get really where you want to be, and depending on where you're at now and what your true end goal is. Real change is not going to happen overnight. So if you're expecting that you're just going to lose all this weight in 30 days or even 60 days, 90 days, you're not likely to do that. It takes a long time. Our clients stay with us for an average of a year. In a year, you can have a holy shit, oh my God, transformation. But understand that you're going to have to be patient along the way, and it's not going to happen in the first couple of weeks. Sometimes you'll do absolutely everything perfect. You might lose only a pound in a week. So you have to understand that it's going to take time. Our best clients understand that. They're willing to be patient. They understand that it's a long game, it's a marathon, and not a sprint. Another big trait for our perfect clients is they send training footage regularly. This is a big one. Sometimes people think, well, I've already worked out before, I've had a personal trainer before, and I'm really good, or I don't want to send videos. Our perfect clients send videos repeatedly. If you took a list of all of our top clients, the ones who have the craziest transformations, they have sent literally hundreds of training videos. They're sending 3 to 5 videos every single workout. This allows us to focus on 3 things. We're focusing on their form, we're focusing on their execution and their intensity, so that we can help them directly with that. So form is like how your body's moving through space. Execution is like how you're actually doing that exercise. So are you like slow and controlled, or are you kind of moving all over the place? And then finally, intensity is like, are you actually taking that set to failure? And that doesn't mean just lifting heavy for the sake of it, but rather lifting with perfect form, perfect execution, and taking the set to as many reps as you could have possibly done. So if you're not sending us footage, the likelihood of you being able to have good form, good execution, and train to failure by yourself is statistically less than 1%. I've never had a brand new client come through and have perfect 10 out of 10 form, 10 out of 10 execution, 10 out of 10 intensity. It just does not happen. It's a skill. Just like any other sport, you have to get good at it. And the only way to do that is constant feedback. You send a video, we give feedback. You send a video, we give feedback, and it gets better every single week. And then once we have your form and your execution nailed and you're trained to failure, then we like to even go a step further and give you direct feedback on like, okay, you used 50 pounds for 10 reps this week. Let's keep the weight the same, but let's aim for 12 or more next week. Or, hey, that weight looks pretty easy for you. Let's go up another 10 pounds. Or, hey, that weight actually might have been a little bit too big of a jump. Let's pull it back. So if we can have that level of contact with you, we are just going to see so much better results. So our best clients are always sending training footage. Okay, next up is they are punctual with their check-ins and submitting all documentation. So when a client comes on, our best clients, the second we finish that call, they are sending us their intake forms. They are signing their coaching agreement. They're like getting right in. They're like eager to start. Okay. Sometimes it takes people a day or two to get their intake forms in. It's just like, it just is a pattern of what's to come. And we don't like that, right? Next thing is check-ins. So if people are always late, oh, I'm busy. If you're late with your check-ins, it's going to be really hard for your coach to have a good relationship with you. Our best clients are always sending their check-ins early, sending their check-ins on time, because they are actively seeking the feedback. They want to know, what did I do well? Where did I need to improve? What do you think of my progress so far? Give me the next step. Our best clients view their coach and their check-in as the golden ticket to the next step. So I remember when I would have a coach, I used to get my check-ins via email, and I would be refreshing my email inbox in my phone all day, waiting for my coach to respond back to me. That's how important you have to view it. And that's how our best clients do review it. I can see when our client has responded to our check-in or has opened it and watched the whole thing. We have analytics to see when you watched it, how much you watched of it, and then the response time after it. Our best clients, it's like no surprise. They watch their check-in video right away. They respond with their takeaways in detail, and they're implementing right away because they're eager for that feedback. Okay, next up is they are grateful for our effort and the results we produce, and they respect our work. So a big part of coaching is not just the analytics, the numbers, it is the coaching relationship that you build with somebody. And if we can feel like we are just a service to you and we are not necessarily valued as people, there can be a bit of a disconnect, right? So we really love when our clients are showing that respect, showing that love in the form of thank yous, gratitudes, sending referrals, being kind, shouting us out on Instagram. Like, that stuff means the world to us. That's ultimately how we grow our business, but it's also how we feel nourished as coaches. And if you are showing that gratitude and you are showing that like you understand the effort and the time and the skill that it was required to be a good coach, we're just going to feel so appreciated, and we're going to pour even more into you. Whereas like if you think of any bad relationship, if you're feeling like you're underappreciated, you're naturally going to start to pull back. You're naturally going to feel like, oh, like what I'm doing is not being appreciated. Maybe I'm not going to put in as much effort. It's just subconscious. That's how human behaves. So again, all of our top clients, our best clients, they're so thankful. They're so grateful. They leave reviews without asking. They're constantly giving us shout outs on social media without us asking. They're giving us referrals without us even asking. They're really going above and beyond. They're expressing their gratitude. It just feels great for us as coaches. The next thing is they don't take our investigative questions as disrespect. They appreciate our diligence. So as coaches, we often have to ask a lot of questions that might even seem repetitive. So say, for example, if somebody is not progressing in their weekly check-in, we will be saying something along the lines of like, hey, how was your sleep? Did you follow the diet 100%? Did you get your steps every single time? Did you get your trade? Did you weigh everything every single time? This can seem in a way that we're interrogating you. It's not that. We just need to have all the available evidence so that we can make good decisions. If we are going blind, we're not going to make good decisions. We're not going to have all the data. So we always want to investigate, even if that can seem repetitive. Sometimes I'll ask a client, I'll say, did you follow your diet? Yes. Did you weigh it every time? Yes. Every single time, every gram of food you weighed it. Well, not every time. So sometimes we have to really dig to really get to the true answer. Our top clients, they don't view this as disrespect. They appreciate that we care and that we're doing our due diligence. Next is they follow their data, not the feeling. So sometimes somebody can be like, I feel fat this week. I feel tight in my clothes this week. I feel like I'm not progressing fast enough. But then if we can look at our data and be like, hey, our chart shows you're losing about 1.5 pounds every single week. We are not going to be dissuaded by opinions or your feelings if we have the hard data. If we have a side-by-side profile of your pictures and you could see a clear difference in a reasonable amount of time, we are not going to be dissuaded by feelings. Our best clients, they will look at the data because we're all human. We can be influenced by our emotions, but when you have data that strongly contradicts how you feel, you have to side with the data because the data is an objective fact and you can't be upset by facts. It's very normal. Again, we are human, but when you have the data right in front of you, you have to be able to reflect on that versus just how we feel in the moment, because there could be moments where you don't feel your best and that you could maybe think like, hey, I'm spending all this money on the coach, it's not working. But if you can see, hey, this is the data, it's working, then you have to believe that. Our perfect client is already working out consistently and already actively trying. So we love to work out with somebody who has already tried, whether it be personal training, group fitness classes, they've tried going to the gym on their own, they genuinely care about being healthy, they genuinely care about working out, and they already like it. As coaches, I think that we are at the skill level right now and the level of coaches that it is not a good use of our skill and knowledge and timing and effort and care to be like trying to convince people to work out, to try to convince people the benefits of being healthy. If you're with us, you already know the value of being healthy. You're already working out. You just want to go to that next level and you want to look and feel your best. We don't want to be like pulling teeth to get you to work out around here. It should be something that you're already into, something that you already see the benefit of and you know the benefit of. You just need a little bit of help with like the structure of like how to actually put it together, how to see the best result. And you just want consistent feedback so that you're consistently progressing. They care more about results instead of time spent together. So this is a big one. So our clients, at the end of the day, our perfect clients, they're here for results. They understand that we do not need to be holding their hand every single step of the way. In fact, they don't want us holding their hand. They kind of just want to be told what to do and then left alone. You know, some of our not so good clients, they feel like I need a personal trainer with me 3 times a week, spending an hour with me 3 times a week to get results. How many of you have gone with a personal trainer for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, saw basically no result, even though you spent hours and hours and hours with that person? You probably saw that person more than your spouse, more than your kids. You're spending 3 entire hours with them by yourself for months on, years on, and you didn't see result. Then you'll see something that we do where we spend about 5 to 10 minutes a week with our clients and we're able to produce a far bigger result. Our perfect clients understand that it's not about the time that you spent with somebody, it's the result that you're producing, and they value that far more than just time spent. Our best clients too, they hop on support calls maybe once a month, once every other month as needed. They do their weekly check-ins. They test when they ask questions. They know that they don't need to spend a ton of time with us. I find the clients who actually struggle a little bit are the ones who feel like they need a support call every other weeks, because they take the information, they feel motivated for a day or two, but they don't actually implement. Our most successful clients are always implementing the advice that we're doing, and they just want to be told what to do, and then they take the direction on that. They ask good questions, and they care to learn about the process. So there's a difference between like good questions and overly challenging questions. Okay, so good questions are wanting to learn the why, the rationale, the process, learning more about understanding, learning about how to optimize. Those are good questions. Challenging questions are when you are speaking to your coach, you're like, why do we do it like this? I think we should do it like that. Or, you know, like, how are you qualified? Like, challenging questions can just be very irritating as a coach, because you want to make sure that like you're feeling trusted. I'll tell a quick story. Like, there was a client who came in and I liked her a lot as a person. However, when she came in, she was challenging me on every single decision that we made, what exercises we picked, what food we picked. And it wasn't just for curiosity's sake. It was, I like to do this better and I don't like that you've chosen that. Why did you pick that? I want to do this instead. And over time, like, I a little bit capitulated. I said, you know what, let's just make her happy. You do the thing. And as time goes on, the more we kind of capitulated to her plan and her wants, she got worse and worse results. And eventually I had to just let that person go, because it's like at a certain point, you're kind of coaching yourself. I love good questions. If somebody wants to know why we picked the macro split for them that we did, why they're doing certain exercises, why they're maybe not be doing certain exercises, if they saw somebody else in the program doing something else, why are they doing that not? Like, these are good questions. Like, I have no problem answering those questions. I love those questions, because for me, it's important that you understand not just what to do, but why you're doing it. Because if you understand the why behind why you're doing it, you'll have much more longevity and much more success in your goals. Next up is they ask what they can be doing to improve, to maximize the results. This is such a good trait. Like, this is something that I feel like I do very well, is when I am trying to improve in something, I'm constantly going to my coach being like, hey, you know me, you see the questions I ask, you see how I show up, what could I be doing better? And if you have a good coach, they'll keep it real with you. Be like, hey, you're great with your workouts, you're great with your steps, you go to bed on time. I think you could be more diligent with your nutrition. I think maybe you eat out a little too often. I think you drink a little bit too often. I think if we could tighten that up, you'd see much better results. And then they take that advice and they run with it. That is like, this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite trait on the entire list, because it's so beneficial to know where you stand. And you should have a coach who's willing to be honest and direct with you. If you got a coach who's just like, no, everything you're doing is perfect, I think that as a client, you're kind of missing out if that's the case. But if I have a client who is saying, hey, how can I improve? What can I do better? I'm going to love to give that feedback because I know that you actually care. Next up is they're not working with anybody else at the time. So I don't mind if you work with people in the past, but I like to work with people who are like all in with just me because I don't like having too many cooks in the kitchen. So for example, like if you're trying to work with me at the same time you work with a personal trainer or a naturopath or a dietitian, we cover everything. We do everything. We do your nutrition, we do your training, we do your mindset, we do your accountability. We do absolutely everything. We do not need anybody else. And I much rather you not have somebody else because, for example, unfortunately, I would say 90% of the fitness, health, wellness industry are not very good at what they do. They're just not. They don't produce results. They might have good marketing. They might have good sales. They might even have a lot of clients, but they're usually not good at what they do. Whenever I receive plans from other people, I'm like, where did this person go to school? What kind of knowledge do they have? Do they have any client results? Because based on their plans, they're just not good plans, right? So that's the one thing. But even if you do by some miracle, the person you're working with is in that 10%, you're most likely going to have some conflict of what they're saying to do versus what we're saying to do. And if you have two different people in your ear telling you two different things, it will ruin your trust of what to do. You will self-sabotage. You will go in the wrong place. And you have too many conflicting data points to really be able to make good, effective decisions. So when you're working with us, we prefer that you work with nobody else because truthfully, you don't need anybody else. But also if you do have somebody, even if they're good, it just puts too many cooks in the kitchen and too many conflicting opinions. Next up is they value health and sustainability. This one is huge. This is even in our mission statement. Our mission statement is we want to get women into the best shape of their life in the healthiest way possible using sustainable methods. So best shape of your life, it's obvious. Look good, feel good, healthiest way possible. We're not here to be using injections. We're not here to be cutting corners, fad diets, anything extreme. We're not here to be doing anything unsustainable. That's like working out every single day for 2 hours a day, plus cardio, living on no carbs, just trying to get the fastest result possible. Our clients value health. They value whole foods. They value doing things organically. They value good sleep. They value good water. They value being physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually healthy. That is how we operate, and that's how our best clients think. And I think that that's just like a way of life, and that's a lifestyle, because there's people who chase results at the sacrifice of their health or at the detriment of themselves and those around them by doing maybe like super hard drugs, steroids, things like that. They're not focused on health. They're only focused on the result. We don't like working with those people. We want to work with people who truly value health. They truly value sustainability. They want to be able to not only get in shape, but stay in shape for the rest of their life. They understand that change requires change. There's nothing worse than somebody coming on who doesn't want to change anything about their lifestyle, right? And that kind of alludes to one of the earlier points. But if you're somebody who doesn't want to change their nutrition, they don't want to change their training, they don't want to have to start going to bed earlier, they don't want to have to stop drinking, they don't have to stop going out, it's like, this program is not for you. Like, we are going to ask you to change because whatever you have been currently doing gets you the exact body, lifestyle, and outcome that you're currently at. So our best clients understand that in order to have a different life, a different lifestyle, different physical outcome, they need to change the habits that got them here. Next up is they have money and they're willing to invest in their health. Okay, our best clients, like, they're a little bit more affluent, they have more money, they're willing to invest that money into health. So a lot of people, unfortunately, who have a lot of money, sometimes they're a bit tight when it comes to investing in coaches, investing in health. Our best clients, they view that as like one of the biggest parts of their budget because they truly value health. They know that there is no better investment than in your health, because not only do you live longer, do you live better, it enhances all other areas of our life. A couple examples of this is like they buy better groceries. They're not looking to cut corners. They're working with us. We are not cheap. We are definitely investment, but they understand that working with us long-term is going to get us results. Most of our clients start with us at 6 months, but our best clients are with us 3, 4, 5 years because they know that if the more they continuously invest in themselves, they're just continuously going up level after level. They invest in supplements. Not all supplements are necessary, but if you're on kind of even just the basics, that's about anywhere from like $100 to $200 a month worth of supplements. They're willing to invest in that because they value their health. They do things like Instacart. Our more successful clients, they don't have time to be going to the grocery store 3, 4 times a week. They Instacart. They have a little bit more money so they can get groceries delivered to them. They also delegate their time. Our most successful clients are often busy. They don't have time to be mowing their lawn, shoveling their snow, picking things up that they don't need to. They have stuff delivered when possible. They're willing to delegate their time. They're willing to make hires in their business or hire other people as contractors so that they can have more of their time to focus on health. They'll do things like hiring a meal prep chef or a meal prep service because they don't want to spend time cooking. This is one of the best ways to be successful. Honestly, I find it funny because sometimes we get super successful clients who are like, I'm super successful, I'm super busy, it makes it harder for me to get fit. I actually laugh because I'm like, if you had unlimited cash, it is extremely easy to get fit. All you'd have to do is literally sleep, eat, and work out, and everything else could basically be delivered to your door. It is extremely easy if you have more money and you're willing to invest it into your health. It's extremely easy to get into fitness, no matter how busy you are. Okay. Next is they act quickly. They spend less time thinking and more time doing. So when they get advice from us, our best clients, they just act on it. They start the workout plan. They start the meal plan. They just start implementing right away. I think a lot of people will spend so much time about like thinking about the perfect plan. I'm going to start like this day. I'm going to do it this particular time. I'm going to make sure that this and all the stars align and Mercury's in retrograde before I start. Our best clients, they just act quick. They don't have time to be like thinking about the best way to do that and trying to plan and over plan things. Next thing is they are smart and emotionally intelligent. And our best clients, I see time and time again, they write well, they speak well, they are not offended easily, they are emotionally intelligent, and they can understand differentiating somebody's opinions from like the coaching practice. And I think that if you are emotionally intelligent and you can receive feedback appropriately, you are going to do so much better with us. People who are easily offended, people who are not the most literate, people who are not the most tech savvy, you're probably not going to do well with us. And if you're not tech savvy, you just need to be willing to learn. This is not the 90s or even 2000s anymore, where not being tech savvy is a legitimate excuse. Technology has been around for almost 30 years in terms of like the internet and apps and things like that. So the expectation is like, you just got to get with it. There's no expectation of being older. Some of our clients are 60 years old, and they're some of our best clients. Granted, most of our clients are in that 35 to 45-year-old bracket, but one of my best clients who just did a photo shoot, she's 60 years old with grandchildren. She knows how to use the app. It's not very complicated, but you just have to be willing to figure it out. And then finally is they learn how to track their macros and be able to create their own plan. So anytime anybody starts with us, we always give them a meal plan based on their life, their goals, the foods they leave. It's all done for you. It's very, very straightforward. However, we do not want our clients to be sticking to the same meal plan for the rest of their life. We understand, and we can make those changes for you, but we've seen time and time again, people have much better success following the meal plans that they've created themselves because, one, you will always like a plan that you made yourself more than a plan that somebody else made for you. That's just how we are. We like our own things, okay? But it's important that you learn how to do that properly, and that's a huge part of what we teach. So we teach you by giving you all the answers first, and then collaborating, and then eventually you're kind of all on your own. Because our goal is like, you don't have to be with us for the rest of your life. Obviously, we love having our long-term clients, but our goal is that we can teach you everything. So you learn how to track macros, you learn how to create your own meal plans, you learn how to have your own training programs, so that we're teaching you more about how to think versus just following us blindly. Like, yes, we love that you trust us, we love that you follow us, but our goal for your long-term success is that you understand nutrition just as well as me, and you understand how to create a meal plan just as well as me. Because yes, that stuff takes time to learn, but any client that's been with me for 3 years, like, you know meal planning inside and out. You know how to track your macros. You know how to do that stuff just as well as me because you've asked the questions, you've done it repeatedly, you've seen it in experience, because there is no experience. There is no teacher quite like experience. So anyways, that is our perfect client traits for HealthNU clients. These are traits that most of our clients have, all of these, honestly. Like, we're really blessed because of the way that we speak and the way that the people we attract. And if you're watching this and you know that a lot of these apply to you, apply to work with us. We'll see life-changing results. And if you're watching this as a client and you're like, hey, this applies to me, Shaun's talking about me, just know that I thank you. I'm super grateful for you. I love working with you, and you make my job fun for me and all the other coaches that work with us. So that's it for me. Hope this video was valuable. See you on the next one.